Did you know? According to the official Touhou game's timeline, Reimu Hakurei's purification rod was shown to absorb the souls of the defeated enemies. In the official manga Forbidden Scrollery, during chapter 25, Reimu has to take care of a fortune teller who has turned into a yokai. A yokai is most often represented as an evil Japanese spirit or monster, with some monsters like the ogre in Western culture and Oni in Eastern culture sharing similarities. But after exterminating the menace, however, fans have noticed that the rod became significantly longer, even jokingly saying that the reason why a rod keeps growing in each subsequent game is because she keeps fighting new opponents every game. This theory was fueled by all of the mainline games featuring a longer stick from game to game. For comparison, here's an image of Reimu in the first Windows game and one of the latest, where her stick is almost the size of her body. This rumor was debunked, however, by Twitter user Tortocard, also known as Cakewalking, during the release of the 18th entry in the series, where it was shown that the purification rod actually shrunk in size. This led people to believe that Reimu's rod wasn't actually absorbing souls, but was rather made of extensible wood, meaning that the rod could grow or shrink even further if need be. Moving on from stealing souls to not having a soul, the Lunarians are perhaps one of the most mysterious races of the series. First appearing in the manga Touhou Bagetsusho, a Silent Sinner in Blue, they were then mentioned in other games such as Touhou Kanjiden, Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom. Their apparition, however, brought up some questions within the community, with some fans even questioning whether it would be possible for our moon to host life at our point in time. Some members were so determined to find out that they decided to prove this theory by providing their own evidence. On November 23, 2020, some members of the community launched their own device entitled Chang'e 5 to examine the Earth satellite, with the name of the probe being a reference to Chang'e, the Chinese goddess of the moon, who another character from the series, Junko, has a grudge against. After the probe landed on the moon's surface, however, those hope of finding life on the moon were short-lived, as images provided by the community members showed no sign of potential life. All hope is not lost for fans of the Moon Rabbits, however, as Chang'e 5 was built to serve another purpose, bringing back some lunar rocks, allowing for more in-depth analysis about the past of the moon. This, in turn, could confirm the existence of some lunar life form. Continuing in the theme of moon-related characters, Clownpiece is a hell fairy that first appeared in Touhou Kanjiden, Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom, as the boss of the 5th stage. Many players consider her to be a roadblock and possibly one of the most powerful opponents in the game, but many were also struck by surprise when first seeing her choice of clothing, as she wears a shirt and leggings reminiscent of the pattern of the American flag. However, this choice of clothing wasn't always the norm, as an early build of the game depicts Clownpiece in a rather different outfit, trading the stars and stripes for an entirely white uniform. Many people have questioned the reasoning behind that costume, as the American flag pattern she wears has a direct link to the story. Others have speculated that this early model might have been created because a white flag typically represents the act of surrendering during a war, which would make sense considering the setting of the game itself. However, as with many speculations, this hasn't been officially confirmed. Going back down to Earth for our next piece of information, this time we will be focusing on a specific location within Gensokyo, namely the Yaku Mountain, which first appeared in the eponymous Touhou Fujinroku, Mountain of Faith. It is no secret for the fans of the series that the Yaku Mountain is inhabited by countless Japanese mythological creatures, and that amongst them rule the Tengu, who are often distinguishable by their long nose and ability to create strong winds. Another specialty of theirs, however, is to control the flow of information within the region of Gensokyo, as they are the primary source of newspapers. However, such fierce competition between journalists can result in a lot of conflict, which is what happened on March 14, 2010, during the release of the 12.5th game Double Spoiler. Following the events of the game, many scandalous pictures of the now popular character Ayasha Meimaru leaked online, showing her in some rather risky poses. This created a controversy within the Tengu village, up to the point where newspapers had to stop being produced until the case was closed. A couple of days after the incident, however, Ayasha Meimaru herself posted a video where she denied the existence of such photos and telling internet users that they were a pure fabrication. Strangely, however, while many would have considered this affair as detrimental to the Tengu's image, it actually benefited Aya's reputation, as she would often meet people shouting her name, encouraging her during interviews. However, even with the case closed, nobody currently knows who posted these pictures in the first place. Another fan-favorite character living near the Yaku Mountain is Nittori Kawashiro, once again appearing in the same game as the titular mountain. This character is heavily based on one of the most well-known myths of Japan, the kappa, which are defined by their turtle shell. As such, when creating the design for Nittori, the series creator Junya Ota took a lot of care in replicating the signature shell, replacing it with a green or blue backpack depending on the game. However, according to an interview in the ongoing magazine Strange Creatures in Outer World, this wasn't the only inspiration for the iconic oversized backpack. When asked if there was another reason for that design choice, Junya Ota answered, "It's true that kappa were a great source of inspiration for Nittori. However, the reason I gave her a backpack was not only for story purposes, but also as a nod to the furniture company of the same name. Since she builds a lot, I thought this would be a nice little reference." While the reference would go unnoticed in the eyes of Western fans, this would not be the case in Japan, as Nittori is also the name of the most popular furniture company of the country, even overcoming IKEA in terms of sales figure. And now it's time for our final and only real piece of trivia. This time we are going to take a look at an interesting opinion and interpretation of the Touhou fanbase. While the Touhou fanbase is well known for being expansive and welcoming to other people, with the Guinness World Record describing it as the most prolific fan-made shooter series ever made, this isn't always a certainty. Taking a glance at Touhou Wiki's popularity poll, which is the biggest poll for the franchise as a whole, shows that while around 97% of the people are fond of the music and around 91% find the characters interesting, only 43% enjoy being part of the fandom. According to some members of the community, this could be due to the diverging opinions on some of the more popular characters and their appearances in different more questionable works. Nevertheless, this looks like an issue that is here to stay. Did you also know that this video is not an official DidYouKnowGaming video? Or that most of the facts listed here were false? If you want some facts, please go check their official channel. And hey, I'm Surnist! I'm doing some videos related to Touhou project. So if you want to know more about it, well, you're already on the right channel. So go right ahead and make yourself at home. I'll be waiting. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. You know, like it's the end of the video, what do you want me to do? It's literally an April Fool's video, I can't go anywhere. Oh well, yeah, the video's ending. I gotta cut it out anyway. Well, I'll be going then. See you everyone!